Well, guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Over Foolish for You. We are at 9 p.m. European time here in Italy, and this day, guys, we are going to start another beautiful horror game called Dicentra. So, I hope you're ready for it. I know nothing about it, just so that the draws are incredibly beautiful. And more than that, I hope that the story is incredibly beautiful. So, without further ado, we stop the music and we start the game. Let's go. OBS, I do hope that you can capture the game and you don't need me. Okay, yes, beautiful. Look at this beautiful game. It does even have animations. Seems okay. Okay, I need to put the volumes up though. A little bit. You let me know about the volumes, okay? And I'm gonna check it nonetheless. So, start. This games contain content and themes on death, loss, grief, violence, animal death, imprisonment, flashing imaginary, jump scares, intoxication, horrific imaginary, and description, mental illness, suicide, not involving main characters, and loud sound that the player may find uncomfortable or disturbing. Player discretion is advised. Please play responsibility and take care of yourself, okay? If you're too impressionable, do not watch these games, okay? My god. The draws, the illustrations, guys, are amazing. I think to be curious is to be brave. Auto-save, Q-save, preferable. Oh, they have a lot of options, okay? Because to be curious is to risk buckling under the weight of your choice. I actually need to make the text a little bit bigger if I can do that. Rollback side displayed on full, music volume, voice volume. I'm gonna put the music volume, assign volume, a little bit like this, and put it a little back on OBS. Is there any possibility to make the text a little bit wider? Speed, forward time. Huh. Roblox ad display. No, it doesn't seem that it does have an option to do that. Okay. Because to be curious is to risk buckling under the weight of your choices. And to remain evergreen means you might never truly know yourself. I mean, it is very little for you guys, especially if you're seeing it on the cell phone, but I'm gonna dub it, so no worries. My breath coming in a smudge of white clothes as I limped through the lane. I do hope that the English that I are using here just normal English and not like old one, please. It blurs my vision, resigning me to relying on touch of my most basic instinct as I make my way through the forest with wind crushing against me from all sides. I've never been much of a prayer, but would it be too late to start now? Digging my claws into something might just make me feel less alone right now. Then again, which of the gods would accept my petitions? By the way, I think I want to put the microphone a little bit louder because the last streaming the microphone was a little bit down. So perhaps like this. I hope that the sound doesn't break. Actually, let me check directly on Twitch. You will hear two voices. You'll hear two voices. It should be good. Should be good. Okay. Then again, which of the gods would accept my petition? I fumble over tangles of roof and slip over wet moss. My bones instantly shudder from the cold shock that shoots up my arms as my nails grab into my nearby rock. The cuts all over my body start to sting again, and a pathetic whine escapes my throat. My grandmother would click her virulent tongues at me if she could see me now. I can hear her snide remark already. See what happens when you don't listen to me? As if you wouldn't survive long enough to hear the real deal. I sniffle in frustration and try to shake the feeling away with the rain dipping down my face. She's always right, of course. For just a moment, I thought I had finally gotten what I wanted so badly. Earned all on my own, in spite of how it was always placed out of my reach. It was almost worth the consequences that came after. Lost in thought, I lose control of my limbs. I'm not used to controlling them all at once, and it's enough to throw me back into the sleek hurt, not heart. My eyes begins to burn, and the pain that drags along my body suddenly starts to overwhelm me. The storm above is harsh, and the thick canopy of trees above me does little to curtail its rage. Instead, the trees passively turn their leaves away. If I had the guts, I'll throw my grandmother's most colorful curse at them. My gaze sorrowfully trails the moon, wondering if she would be willing to rally against them in my defense. Who could intimidate the spirits in the wind better than the grave daughter of the night of her visit? I watched her if she might truly descend from the sky, but like every other night, where she turns her face to the ground, she bears no sign of acknowledgement in the slightness. Wearily, I force myself to take a deep breath. I shakily lift myself from the ground, trying hard to ignore the bite of pain that comes from my arm. Lately, the summer weather has been fickle. The long-stretched weeks have surrendered to an endless cycle of torrid heat waves and thunderous rainstorm, and to my charging, I've been caught in a relentless sheet of downpour. Man, this English is way better than the old one that we read in It Gets So Long. I'm so glad. I can actually read it a little bit better. It's just that my brain is buffering every time because it is not my native language, but yeah. Great improve. The fact that the font is so little, that is a little bit problem, but that's okay. The rain comes down like a shard of ice against my skin, like it falls with the intent to hurt. In the puddle in front of me, I watch it disturb the murky surface with a shower of ripples. In the brief moment where the reflection almost settled, I see piercing yellow eyes. Ooh, dark fur. Is that Oh, but it's so cute! And Wilter's here, sleek and clinging to the small, vulnerable form of a wolf pup. The voice of my grandmother hisses in my mind. What have you done, Basil? I stare into the reflection and silence frame the grief that lodged into my throat. I need to get back home. Are we a wolf? Oh, we are a wolf. Oh, okay. I veer away from the puddle and trek on. Please, something, lead me back home. Something, anything. I wonder if it is wise thing to send a wish into the unknown, because to make intangible, it is to lose control of who or what finds it. As exhaustion, okay. Sorry, guys. Why I cannot pronounce it? As exhaustion finally reached my mind, because I swear, something in the dark answers. It's so faint, I question if it is even real. Owl cuts through the wind, or perhaps it's the wind that shrinks away from the sound that hambles through. Fighting my way through the storm has left my body hollow. My mind might no longer remember what reason is. All of my instincts scream to ignore it, but my heart, a stupidly curious thing, make me take a step forward. My fuzzy ear pick up the heavy sound of my heart pounding. I try to convince myself it is because of fear. I need to focus on where the howling's coming from. Well, you're a wolf, so if you hear an howling, maybe it's your parents or a friend or whatever. As I move closer to the sound, it begins to resemble what I can only assume to be crying. The storm also starts to mysteriously retract its close. Is it the forest showing mercy, or has it submitted to something more formidable? I believed in the woods my whole life. I should know better than anyone to never get too comfortable. A red light perforated the dark atmosphere. Is that the red moon? I swallow harshly. There is a mansion in the middle of the woods. Oh, I love this game already. From a distance, it would look abandoned, if not for the hazy red light coming from the rooftop. I squint. Is that a greenhouse? The silhouette of figures move quickly behind the looming glass window, startling me. I dive into the tall and neglected grass that surround the shadowed manor. After a short while, I peek through the blaze. The shadow is gone. Did I imagine it? I release a nervous sigh and observe the ground for any sign of life or death. It was a bad idea to come here, a terrible one even. I can stay here. I retreat back into the forest, brambled embrace, keeping the mansion in my line of sight. The moment I feel bold enough to turn my back against, it's a powerful game slam into me. I tumble back hard, skidding across the ground and into the tall grass with a cry. It takes me a moment to recover from my swirling vision. My wounds screamed at me, and I wonder how much further I can even go in this state. I grit my teeth and get back on my feet, keeping my weight of my arms as I make for the forest again. And I deny the entrance by the mysterious force. Panic started to seep through my bones, and I swallowed against the tininess that now constrict my heart. I stare at the trees, as though they'll suddenly start playing nice, but these woods were likely old enough to witness the heart before the heavens left it merry with holy fire. They will waste not a second more on aiding me. The wind gives one more show. It insists I move forward. I bear my adolescent canines at it to disguise the sting from its manipulation. I face the mansion once again. It's clear that something or someone from the inside is inviting me in. With no other choices, I creep along the worn brick walls on the mansion and try to find a way in. Ooh, choices. I go to a window, I go to a cellar door, I go somewhere else. Well, I don't know. I'll go somewhere else. I'll try. I faint and knocking grabbed my attention. I pad to the back of the mansion, and my saving grace comes in the form of a door left slightly ajar. Oh, we found an open door. Aha! I nudge my nose into the tight gap, and relief washes over me when it parts. Uh-oh. I don't like it. No. Me no likey. Also, since we are a wolf. Good idea. And here piercing screech echoes through the mansion at the door hinges being to shift. From the look of it, they haven't moved for a long time. The feeling of ice flood my veins. Stop that. I stay frozen in the doorway. If the mansion is occupied, there is no way I didn't just announce my entrance. Fears take over again. My backpaw intuitively step back so I can attempt to run as far away from this place as I can. Oh. The sound of thunder exploding behind me. I feel my body take on a life of its own, and I throw myself into the mansion again against my will. The door slams on my way in. I breathe shallowly. When I come to my senses, I am in a kitchen. Okay. I do prefer the sound of the rain, to be sincere. It is dark inside the house. It is dark inside the house. The only source of light is the muffled moonlight that comes from the window above the counters. Everything beyond its reach is a void. I see a kitchen table and crawl towards it, scratching my nails along the musty wood flooring in a rush to get beneath it. I stay under the table as my breathing starts returning to a normal pace. My eyes are wide, my ears are perked up, on the lookout of anything that could be a threat. The only sound I pick up are the heavy drums of rain from outside, and the occasional creak of the mansion walls breathing in the night air. When I am confident that there is no sign of life in my vicinity, I crawl back into the open and immediately shake off as much as rain as mud as I can. I let myself... Oh no. My screen is flickering again. I let myself celebrate the minor luxury of finally escaping the mobs of the weather. But I don't let my paranoia slip from its mooring just yet. As soon as my eyes assimilate to the dark, I take the time to study my surroundings. Also, how much a wolf take to see in the dark? I think just a couple of seconds, right? Because they can see in the dark. Like cats, right? That's why they have like yellow eyes. Because it's the reflection of the light inside the eyes, right? I noticed a heart that lacks any recent maintenance. Hurt. Dishes crowd the countertop, and a thick layer of dust has me smothering a sneeze. This place hasn't been occupied in a long time. Okay, so you're telling me that basically the door was open because nobody was in? Surely I can allow myself to breathe just a little bit easier in this space, at least until the storm wanes. I bring in a deep inhale, being careful not to get any dust up my sensitive nose, and tread cautiously. Cautiously. I don't know how to read it. I'll just give it. Cautiously, right? As I sneak further in, I hold my breath at every corner, careful looking in the direction for danger. The rest of the mansion is as devoid of life as the kitchen. Most of the rooms here have closed doors. The ones I could see in were graciously empty except for the derelict furnishing within. Barely anything is decent shape. I could guess how long it's been since a human lived in this manner, but based on the scratched headwood floors and the broken but intricate-looking side table nestled in a dark corner, I have the impression that this place was neglected even while I was occupied. My nails tap on the floor as I limp into the hallway, my mind finally settling for all the adrenaline. The ache in my front leg starts to swell, and the heat of my body intensifies the pain. I try to admire the painting line the walls from end to end, but it is hard to see them in the dark. You're a wolf, what are you talking about? You should be able to see in the dark. I mean, wait a second. They reflect light, okay? Even a bear of light, but if there is no light at all, that could be a problem, right? Through glimpses of light, I could make out some faded landscapes, a few mountains, some castle, and a couple of portraits. One portrait in particular catches my eyes. I stop in front of it. I stare at the portrait foolishly, thinking that I'm starting right back. The rising heat in my body must be making me see things. Oh no. Stop that! I don't like it! I don't like it! As I observe the side profile of a pale woman, I noticed that she's eerily the most realistic painting I haven't seen so far. The texture in her skin and her hair, I saw, what? It's so lifelike. I feel like I could feel it if you were to reach up to touch the canvas. When she turns, oh my gosh. Please stop. When she turns her head to look down at my tiny form, every hair on my body goes stiff. Her lovely feature, captured in oil, begin to melt off as she steps out of the painting. What? Hello. Lovely. You're just lovely. Smooth ivory skin shivers to a deadly pallor. The elaborate growl clinging to her sharp shoulders begin to rot, as their torso part open like a blooming rose, revealing decaying bones and organs that runs down the skirt like an horrific pattern. Wow. Oh. Okay, that's funky. I like that. Okay. I immediately start running away as far as I physically can. As I scramble to get away on my hard leg, I hear something that might be worse than a ghost. I hear, okay. The woody and spicy scent of incense fills the humid air, creating a hazy purple fog. The sound of chains moving in a controlled rhythm rattles me to the marrow in my bones. Footsteps follow shortly after a growing louder alongside the clicking chains. It's coming from the staircase. My breath quickens. I slide to halt and backtrack away from the sounds. I look behind me and see the glowing apparition of the woman hunched for stumbling towards me, dragging a trail of gore with a wet scratch. Oh my god. Hide. I need to hide. But where? My eyes dart across every inch of the hallway desperately, searching for a small sanctuary. The footsteps are right behind me. The ghost is right in front of me. This hallway now feels like a tomb. A tomb. All of the doors are firmly shut. I press against a wall and my heart skipping a bit when I notice a faint tapping sound coming from behind me. I turn around and witness the outline of a door revealing itself. I waste no time shoving my muzzle between the crack to wrench it open. As soon as I pry the door open, I hurl myself through and back into the darkness. I walk backwards away from the door, keeping my eyes on it. I'm so focused on the door that I bump into something cold and almost trip over it. I look up and see a dark iron staircase curling up an high ceiling. A hatch near the top is open, letting the rain from outside drip down onto the cold metal. Oh, it's so beautiful. Man, I saw nothing until now, but my god, my heart is beating and I'm not even joking. Whew. I hear footsteps once again, this time much louder. I don't dare to breathe or move. Oh, hello. There you are. You're a man with a mask. Okay. The voice startles me into moving. No way was I about to stick around and find out what fate awaits me. Every fiber of my being rings with danger as I climb the stairs. Adrenaline is the only thing that signals my limbs into moving. I drag myself up the iron steps until I'm bursting onto the roof and back into the storm. So we are out. A fog of fright muddles my mind, but we are in the roof, so we cannot escape, right? I see a greenhouse I had spotted early and sprint towards it as fast as I can. I search for a small space to crawl into, tipping over a mess of vines along the way. Thunder and lightnings roar above me. Brr. A bright flash of white blinds me. I can feel my clothes scratch against the wet tiles. A door slams shut in the distance, causing a rippling effect in the walls and reaching the rooftop. When the rippling stops, everything goes quiet. The energy of the manor shifts completely. A jolt of lightning from the storm makes my fur stand. It charged the air and saturated it with the smell of ozone. I shake the rain from my face. The whole world has fallen silent, except for the sound of a chilling drip. Basil. I freeze. My eyes carefully follow the coil of that roots on the grey floor on the greenhouse. I follow its trail all the way to the blood dripping onto the dirty tiles, and the pale feet beside it. My eyes climb my mysterious figure. I don't think I'll ever forget the sight before me, before as short as I live. Lightning flashes brightly through the tall window. Looming rose bushes creep along them. White roses sparkle across its dark leaves like stars in the night sky. Oh. The roses are bleeding. I see. Lovely. The bright flowers begin to bleed red before my very eyes. At the rose bush crimson-soaked center, a small girl stands with her back towards me. Blood drips from tiny bite marks all over her hand. A red flower's bulb is crushed between her delicate fingers. Hello, you beauty. Oh, poor thing, look at him. Instead of a strong floral scent, the smell of burning paper and wilting lilacs flood my senses. Unwillingly crawls up my throat and cuts through the silence. Time resumes once again. The girl turns, her gaze piercing right through me. The bulb drops from her hand. She doesn't say a word. Her attention is mine, whether I want it or not. Black dots begin to appear in the corner of my vision. Black dots? The last things I see is her walking towards me. So you faint before everything fades to black. Okay, maybe you're fainting or dying or both. My fever is brutal though the night. Okay, you fainted because you got cold. Okay. I slip in and out of consciousness to flames beneath my skin, and heck it, I'd rather sleep off that face. I'll try to make my body go back to sleep, but rough hands forces my jaw open, and I feel something shove down in my throat. The intrusions make me violently resist. But I'm far too weak to fend the intruder away. The dark takes me into its arm once again. Oh my god, they put something into me. I hope that is food. I wake to the thank of rusty metal and humid air. The unfamiliar sensation make my eyes snap open. Behind the small cage that holds me, it's dark and damp. I clench my jaw as I examine my surroundings. Soon my eyes fixated on the ghost staring at me from outside my metal prison. Oh, you are beautiful. I yelp and I throw my body backwards, hitting the back of the cage. I expected bite of hard metal on my back, but something smooth bends around my shape instead. It hisses at me in response. I don't think I like it that very much. My claws scrape the cold floor of the cage in a spin. The bars behind me morph into slithering vipers in defensive stances, each one's baring their fangs in anger. Careful! Their venom will make the blood into your body solidify in a second. That will be a very pleasant way to die. I look at the ghost in horror. I mean, she's beautiful, what you're talking about. I'm breathing so quickly that I'm convinced I'll die a lack of oxygen, or so I think. Oh, like the girl from the other game. The last time we saw her, for the last time indeed. The vipers settle back into metal bars and I shake myself small. I don't want to risk testing their patience again. The ghost is not a ghost, but a girl. Her hair looks like ink that's been violently knocked over or spilled onto the floor. It melts into the dark surrounding, contrasting her grey, sleeky-looking skin. Her expression is blank. I see her hands tightly clutching with her white gown. Do you bite not now? We do know what is a night gown. Do you bite? Do you? I reveal my teeth through a snarl and watch as she shows her with a small smile. That was a really small smile indeed. The fur along my spine stand up. She starts to move and I flinched. The girl crawl. Oh my god. The girl crawl towards the cage and I curl my names, guys. I know it can appear stupid to you, but to pronounce a certain combination of words in English for my mouth is totally impossible. Completely impossible. You may not believe me, but it's all real. She reaches for me, a pale hand passing between the bars without resistance. It freezes right in front of my snoot. Is she checking to see if I would really bite? Has she no fear, offering her hand so fearlessly in the presence of a beast? I may only be a pup, but the sheer force of my jaw can pierce right through her palm. I bite her hand. No! No. Don't bite her. No. I pull my face away from her and see her startled for my peripheral vision. She pulls her hand back and holds it against her collar. This one? This is a collar? My eyes lock with hers, and she stares at me with her lips pressed together. I think she expected me to buy her. Okay. It'll be hard for me to protect you if you're too scary the cat to do as I say. My eyes snap back to the girl. I watch as she stands up, whispering her hands on her dress, not showing a single care for how dirty it is become. If you want to survive, you'll have to listen to my instructions, okay, doggy? She tilts her head like she expects me to respond. Don't try to be too brave. You can only survive this place if you're smart. The others had too much fight in them, it made them foolish. Why do I always find the games that say the words foolish all the time? My heart pounded my chest from her words alone. She gives me another haunting smile. Hello Annie, welcome back. When your arms is better, I'll take you for a walk before he gets back. Is this what she sounds like when she's excited? It's unsettling. She suddenly moves close to the cage again. I jump and back away, just enough to not risk getting into trouble with the vipers again. The sense of brewing parchment and wilting lilacs return. The girl's hair falls off her shoulder. I expect ink to trickle down and dye her dress black. My name is Dove. Oh, she's a dove. She's white indeed. Horrible to meet you, Dove. Why? Come on, she saved you. Be gentle. Horrible to meet you. Roses, chapter 1, Roses. I spent the night nursing the dread of my fever. When I'd first woken up, I didn't take notice of how much of it already been soothed. but now vague memories of violation had surfaced in my thought. Did the girl, Dove, give me some kind of medicine during the height of my fever? Could be. My body still feels uncomfortably warm. I rest my head on one arm and glance at the one that had been hurt earlier. A clean bandage is firmly wrapped around it, not enough to cut off the blood flow, but enough to restrict its movement. Was this also Dao handiwork? Also, how did you get cut? I don't remember that part. I sighed softly through my nose, then closed my eyes. Time passes ambiguously in the cage, with nothing to reference. I don't know if it is been mere hours or days. A bowl of water sits in the corner of my cage. I know from the dryness of my throat that I need to hydrate, but I have yet to muster up the courage to approach the bars that slither and rattle every so often. When I'm desperate enough to finally quench my thirst, the bars maintain their metal forms to my relief. Feeling better now, I curl into a ball and my tail cradles my face. I want to go home. Exhaustion's catching up to me once again. I fall asleep on crusty metal and wake on dusty woods. The sounds of wind chimes alert me into consciousness. My eyes snap open and my retina are immediately burned by the color that floods into them. Oh, it's so lovely. On the floor... Oh yeah, we were here, I think. On the floor in the front of me is a kaleidoscope of lights created by the morning sun. This is the morning sun? My god. Created by the morning sun, a stark contrast to the dark and eerie setting I was previously confined to. Maybe I dreamed it all, a feverish haze? I checked on the gauze around my arms. It's still there. A weight around my neck brings me back into focus. A collar is secured around my throat. Attached to it, it is a long and heavy chain that leads to the leg of a large wardrobe in the corner of the room, the bedroom. In my last cage, there are no longer venomous breaths to keep me, but the state of confinement has not changed. My eyes move from the rainbow on the floor to the line to the chain restraining me, then to the rest of the room. I look at the window and find swirling murals. Oh, indeed. Swirling murals and expressive painting of various creatures and monsters. The sun behind them illuminates the floor with a spectacle of colors like a stained glass window. Past the frame of the window, the drawing continues in nonsensical scroll. Less art decorate the walls, but shelves with cracked plants pots and hanging tangles of ivy take their place. Dirty cups and bowls sit forgotten in a dark corner. I briefly note to swallow dishes near where I lay. They look like they would be used by a pet. Okay, so you're like the new pet? Judging from the surprising lack of grime from under them, it has been that long since they were last used. Dusty books and crumpled parchment litter the floorboards. Taking up half of the room is a canopied bed. Dark curtains are pulled tightly together, preventing me from seeing inside. The sound of scratching captured my attention. I drag my games past pile of a book. They're sitting on a ragged blanket, hunched over a scribbling over the print in a book is Dove. Oh, she's so cute, my god. Look at her. Look at this beautiful little face. You cannot see, guys, because it's behind me. Oh, no. Wait, should I move myself? I don't know how to move myself. I don't know how to move myself. Should I put myself here? Do you want me to move myself? Wait, Wait. I can do that. Ha! Give me a second. There we go. Okay. I'll stay here. Okay, I'll stay here. A little bit gutted, but I'll stay here. Okay. She's so cute. Look at her. Look at her face, so puffy and kind. She gnaws on her lips and pinches her brows. I can hear her whispering something to herself. No, that won't work. I slowly lift myself off the floor, cringing at the sound of clanking chains following my movement. Dove makes no move acknowledging my presence, so I continue approaching her. When I'm closer to her back, I'm able to get a better look of what she's furiously writing. Scribbles of occult symbols make the word of the pages completely illegible. I swallowed a lump in my throat. The collar around my neck feels very heavy right now. Dove suddenly tears the page out from the book. The jarring sounds make me jump, and I slam into a tower of books, sending it toppling to the floor. Dread weighs heavily on me. I look back at Dove. She now staring at me with wide eyes. You're awake! Oh my god! I release a small yelp and stare at her dumbfounded. She's brighter. Or maybe it's the luminous light filtering through the bedroom window. Something about it paints her in a rose-tinted lens that makes my wariness waver. That feeling instantly vanishes when she gets up and rushes toward me. I do remind you guys that we are gonna do just 1 hour of reading, because reading in English so much really destroy my brain away. So we're gonna do just 1 hour, okay? We have done almost 50 minutes, so we have something like 15 minutes. I run away as fast as my leg allow me, but my air supply is abruptly cut off, and I throw off my feet. A sharp howl is spewed from my throat. I look behind me and see that the chain of my collar is pulled taut. I had reached its limit. I then see Dove standing in the spot I had bolted from. Her gaze creeps along the chain, making its way to my crumpled form. I see blue eyes. No, she doesn't have blue eyes. I mean, I suppose. I see blue eyes stare into mine, and I shudder. It feels like she could unravel me through sight alone. This must be some kind of artistic choice, by the way, because everything is black and white and you have just a glimpse of colors. And the only colors that you can see is actually red, like blood. She looks at me like she knows. Then she perks up, snapping the tension away. All right, you're probably starving. The others were also very skittish when they had empty bellies. Her voice trailed off, though she became lost in thought. She starts weaving through the mess of book piles to reach the bedroom door. Wait here. I don't have much of a choice. Dove returned with a bread roll and a bowl. She set the bowl down a couple feet in front of me and retreats back to the chew of her own food. I tentatively approach it. The bread smells like heaven. I lick my lips on instinct. My lips, okay. It must have been ages since I last ate, because I watched her tear chunk from it and mark. Oh my god, I'm tired. Okay, once again, I must have been ages. It must be been ages since I last ate, because I watched her tear chunks from it and mark every little crumb failing onto their white dress with yearning. I looked down at the bowl she left for me. She sight of red fleshy chunks greet me. Raw meat. She gave me a bowl of raw meat. I can't eat this. Why not? You're a wolf. You do eat raw meat. Or, well, maybe I could. I mean, is he a dog or is he a wolf? I think it can be a wolf, right? But the idea of it has nausea coursing through me. I stare at the fresh blood pooling at the bottom of the bowl. Then I glance over at the bread. Then back down of the bowl, feeling conflicted. My stomach growls. I can feel saliva start to drip down the side of my mouth. I can't do it. Are you gonna let it go to waste? Oh my god, chill out, girl. Dove's voice coming from right above me, and fear flutters in my stomach. Okay then. My eyes snap up. Dove's reached for me in a flinch, scattering away. She kneels in front of the bowl and dips her hand into it, crushing a fistful of squishy red meat between her fingers. She brings the raw meat to her mouth. Oh my god. I watch her eat it. I freak out. No, I watch her eat it. We're gonna do like the pacifist run if we can do it. We don't want to be... We don't want to appear strange or something. Bile rises in my throat as I watch her chew through the raw flesh and swallow it with a silky gulp. Are you even a dog? Because you actually eat raw meat. You're some like of a... I don't know, even dogs eat raw meat. You may be like a human that has to be transformed into a wolf or something, I don't know. Oh, she covers her mouth with the back of her hands and gags, then looks at me. She smiles at me, her teeth staining in a glistering red. What a horrible taste! A thin stream of blood falls from the corner of her mouth. I suppose you'd like something a little more appetizing. She gags again, then runs out of the room. I heard the sound of the rattling from another room. Oh, and my screen blinks again. Dove returned with a new bowl of what looks like a stew. I inspect it truly, checking for insect or anything inedible. When I surmise that there is nothing of the sort, I dig it greedily. My eyes begin to sting after the first few bites. The stew is so bland. It makes me yearn of my grandmother cooking so badly. Cooking? Cooking? So you're not... What? What do you mean, cookie? Are you talking about your owner? You're like a pup? A wolf pup that had owners, and the owners cooked for you? Because if you really talk about your mother should be a wolf. Something is fishy here. From the corner of my eye, I can see Dove watching me like a hawk. Like a single blink is enough to make me vanish. If only I could. As I finish eating the stew, a soft thudding captures my attention. I look back to see my tail wagging against the floor. I feel myself shrink with embarrassment. I immediately cease its movements, but not before Dove takes notice. Looks like your energy has returned. Her eyes move to my arm. Does it still hurt? I stare at Dove, then hesitantly put my weight on my wrapped up arm. The sharp pain is mostly gone, but a dull ache still remains. If the opportunity for me to run away came, I could probably do it, but not without difficulties. I make a frustrated whine. Dove tilts her head at me, considering my reply. She approaches me again slowly this time. I hold my breath as she came closer, her hand hovering near the collar around my neck. I'm suddenly hyper-aware of how quiet it is. There is no drum of rain or crack of thunder. They be heard from outside. Hope dares to grow inside my racing heart. Will you hurt me if I take it off? No. I play dumb, I answer. Can I answer her? I try. I shake my head slightly. In which way? Like to say yes or to say no? Dove gives me a curious look. Her hands over a short moment, then she nods. Oops. The weight of her collar lifts off my shoulders. Then I bolt. My swift escape shoved Dove aside. I barely see her get thrown to the floor as I make for the open bedroom door. Oh, we're trying to escape. Dove makes a panicked noise behind me. It fades out my rush to leave her behind. Then I'm back into the hallway here, where the horrors began. Are we gonna die again? I need to go back to the kitchen. I sprint to the stairs. Then suddenly, I'm skidding to stop. When a wall meets me at the end of the hall instead of the staircase, I stare in confusion. Did I go the wrong way? I look around the hall. I don't remember seeing these many doors. A sinking feeling unravels in my gut. I run down a new hallway, then turn into another, and then another. My exploration of the manor was cut short when I'd first arrived, so maybe I can remember everything well enough, but I swear, there are not the same halls I walked through before. After I turn into a hallway, number 15 in this new labyrinth, the sound of something begin dragged cuts off my thought. Uh-oh. I look behind me, fear pulsing in my veins. A ghostly figure slowly walks down the cross-section for another hole. Oh my god. Why? Hello? You're a bit skinny. I want something to eat. Not me. I'm not food. Okay. Long hair putrid from its head, running down to the floor stiffly like a straw, and hiding most of his long, thin limbs. I watch it disappear around the corner, completely frozen in my spout. Okay, so she didn't notice me. This thing. Okay, another ghost. I never seen one this corrupted before. I now feel extremely vulnerable, like a beacon standing in the long and open corridor. A thumping noise is next. My heart pounds violently in my chest as I search for the sound. I immediately see another ghost heading straight for me. I yelp and crush myself against the wall, as if it would make me invisible. Oh, why? I don't like it. This ghost staggered towards me with bony knees knocking together. A thin veil curtains his upper body, and something that resembles a bird peeks out its chest. The closer it gets, the better I'm able to make out of the details of its leathery skin and the beady bloodshot eyes that dapple across its face above the rotting beak. Go away! Needle's arm bends sharply at the elbow and reaches back behind the ghost head. It balances on its elbow and pulls itself forwards, and then it's like some kind of a crowdy spider or something. I make myself paper thin and shiver when part of his elbow brushes against my own paws. Okay, so maybe they cannot see us. I start breathing again when it passes quietly, then back away into an intersection of hallways. Oh my god, help me! Another ghost almost tramples me. Oh, come on, what is this? A parade? Two ghosts follow one another down the path of the bird like a ghost. One is a cluster of what looks like a fungi, and twisting fabric that melts into lumpy flesh. A stringy network of my mycelium trails behind it. To the other creates sound of glass crunching together with every steady step it takes. Its arms stick out like a piece of wood that lightly swing as it walks at where its face should be is a void, framed by jagged, broken pieces of porcelain skins. Can I still make out the raggedly made uniform that clings to its bloated form? It followed the ghost in a trance, like a line of school children that walk along the well-known path. Well, maybe this is a school, you don't know that, like a ghost school? Normally, when a ghost is corrupted from being trapped into the land of the living, every resemblance of their humanity is lost. So, where do these ghosts stalk with so much purpose? They navigate the hallways without hesitation, twisting and turning through the route already well worn. Then, so painfully easy, I have been led back to the kitchen. Oh, you found the kitchen. Okay. I see Dove standing in the kitchen table. She's not on the kitchen table. Dedicatedly twisting an incandescent bulb into the hanging light fixture. Dried back tears stain her cheeks, but her expression betray no sign of dejection. Dejection. Another bulb is held loosely in her other hand. This one has been burned out so badly that no light can penetrate its ashy, blackened surface. It took 40 years to develop this type of filament. The ghosts surround her. Oh, are they your friends? I watch them reach from her, and I open my jaw to bark out a warning, but I choke on my rising panic. I don't think she's in danger. Dove doesn't notice them and continue to screw in the bulb. I read that these bulbs can stay lit for up of 1,200 hours. Clothes brush against her skirt. And yet, after less than a week, their legacy of lighting in the dark has been snubbed out forever. With one last turn of the oh no, it comes to the it's wrist, right? It's wrist. With one last turn of the wrist, light envelops the room. Something so wonderful. Dove stares into the bulb light, and her fingers caress the glass. Okay. All of this is absolutely beautiful, but only breaks in a place like this. The ghosts have vanished. Doves gives no hint of awareness for the present that had just left them. My blood thuds in my ears. Could she not see them? I look at the door that I had used to enter the mansion. I heard Dove dust off her hands to toss the old bulb into a box, with its shadow among the other pieces of glass. Guys, we have done 1 hour. I'm pretty much flabbergasted. This game is amazing. I think it's gonna be even crazier the more we go forward, but it's gonna be everything for today. So, as usual, guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for keeping me company. We see each other tomorrow with other lives, with other games. Okay, guys? Have a good one, and good night.